Yo, this is going to sound mad disrespectful, and I mean this when I say it is not disrespectful, and I'll tell you why it's not disrespectful later on. But check it, last night I got to attend an exclusive screening event at the local AMC here in Harlem for Will Smith's Beautiful Scars music video and a one-on-one kind of Q&A thing that iHeartRadio was putting on. Of the three things that I thought as I left the event, the one that sticks out the most to me is that I believe Will Smith has lost confidence in his artistry as an artist to put out a good product. What I'm saying is I believe Will Smith has gotten to a point where he no longer knows what it means to put out a good product because he's lost faith in himself.
Day was Friday, date was 10. A girl was looking good on a strand. She smacked my hand when I put it on her knee. I said, hit me again and I'll break your wrist. That day I dressed all in white, taking my girl to Palm Springs for the night. I was hoping I could find a shortcut. I was tired, plus I had a rash on my butt.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Stand On Business. I am your host, JLW. I want to thank you all so much for joining me on this episode. I'm sorry that we didn't have an episode last week. I try to stay consistent, but unfortunately, if you've watched some of the gaming videos, you know that I fell sick, and I'm just now getting back to it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to cough on this one because I don't even have all this cleared out. But that's not what we're talking about. Today, we're talking about something that should be interesting to me, a little sad, but close to my heart because it's an individual. We're focused on an individual that many of us have grown up. For me, it's my favorite actor of all time, probably the most influential star in my childhood and adult life. Will Smith, right? You know what's funny is that we're now getting to an age and a point where a lot of people, a lot of the new generation have no idea that Will Smith got his start in the rap game. Hell, even when I was a kid, I had to get put on by my pops to let me know that, he's been doing the rap thing way before he was on your television as the star of Hitch, the star of Bad Boys, the star of Independence Day. Before he had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he had Summertime, and Parents Just Don't Understand. And what's the Nightmare on Elm Street one?
He comes to me at night after I call into bed. He's burnt up like a weenie and his name is Fred.
Some people look at him as a goofy rapper or a comical rapper and don't necessarily give him the props and the love that he actually does deserve when it comes to his lyrical ability. If you ever really listen to Will Smith flow, especially in his early tracks, you know what I'm saying? It took skill to be able to do what he was doing. He was doing what the Slick Ricks were doing. He was just doing it in a way that made you laugh and have a good time, which is why I think it appealed to me as a young age, because I could see very clearly the visuals he was painting. We were blessed to be in an era where, love it or hate it, you got Wild Wild West. Most people hate it. I think it's an okay movie. I think it gets a little bit more hate than it should. I think it's one of those movies that grows on you, especially if you watch it at a young age. But then at the end of that, you get Cisco. Was it Cisco? Who did the song with Will at the end of Wild Wild West? I think it was Cisco. Drew Hill. Ah, damn it. I was close.
Now, once upon a time in the West.
Producing arguably one of the greatest movie songs of all time. This is a song that you play anywhere and everybody's going to be like, oh, here it go, right? This is like the Keenan and Kel theme song. Just something that makes you feel good, right? So regardless how you feel about the movie, the song was there. This is the man that gives us Getting Jiggy With It. This is the man that gives us Switch. This is the man that gives us Miami. Like, he was dropping songs that made everybody feel good. You didn't have to be from a particular background or demographic.
Yeah, see, usually y'all stand off on the side, you're a little embarrassed or whatever, but this one of them joints for everybody, so get on up, but keep it simple. Slide.
The music has been the most interesting return to me, right? Because for a long time he had stopped. I think after, Millennium? I think it's his last album. Was it Will Smith? Let's not just talk out of our ass. I'm pretty sure it's Millennium, though, which, again, out 1999, Millennium. No, Lost and Found 2005 was the last one. Lost and Found 2005, last time we see him really put out a project, and then he goes dormant, and it's just movies. To see him now return to making music and hear what he's putting out, I listen to it, and I go, it's okay. It's lost the fun of it to me, and again, expected. The dude is 56 now, right? He's in his 50s. It may not behoove him anymore to just drop a track that doesn't do much more than want you to dance. You know what I'm saying? It may not be in his current mindset to put time into something that isn't personal to him. Because a lot of these songs that he's been dropping, the ones with Joyner, the ones with Russ, the ones with who else did he drop one with? He dropped Bad Bunny. Like, he's doing music that seems to have a lot of spirituality underneath it and deal a lot more with like what he's going through in his personal life in terms of his family, but also his personal growth.
I am the paint, and I'm the brush, and I'm the canvas. I am a saint, but if you touch, I am a savage.
So this is all building up to the event that I went to last night, right? Like this is just kind of the framework in the back of my head where I'm excited to see what's next for him because I'm such a fan of the resurgence of Will with the success of the Bad Boys series. He's got a bunch of projects coming out despite the Oscar controversy, which I still don't think we understand what that was really all about and what was really happening behind the scenes there. I'm here for it, especially if there's an opportunity where we're going to get a more personal experience with this man that, again, a lot of us have grown up with. So the night comes and I get the address and I'm outside and it's cold and it's windy and I'm like, yo, I can already tell, something in the air tells me that this is not what I'm thinking it's going to be. I don't know if it was the wind and how strong it was blowing it, how cold it was, or just how empty the streets was. I was like, I just feel like I should see more people walking around for this exclusive event, for this thing that has a free ticket for a Will Smith thing. But it's Harlem, and maybe there's just not a big, big scene for Will. I'm not even going to say that. Harlem is black. If you're black, you love Will. I don't care who you are, where you're from. So anyway, I get to the theater. No line outside. Hell, the theater looks kind of empty, to be real with you. I'm like, yo, this a Will Smith event and ain't nobody outside? There's no pictures being taken? Whatever. Maybe everybody's already inside because the event starts at 10 Eastern. I'm there at 9:40. Maybe everybody's got there early. They got their seats, and I'm going to have a hard time, finding somewhere to sit down at. Get up to the third floor. There's a little table that's set up, same table that you would see if you were signing up for prom or you were signing up to donate, or buy Girl Scout cookies. Got two girls manning it, and they look up your name, they hand you your ticket. Over to the right, somebody got his like little personal vlogging set up, and he's stopping people, asking them like, yo, why are you coming to the event? What are you excited to see? Blah, blah, blah. Mind you, at this point, we still don't know exactly what it is that we're signing up for. All we know is there was a tease saying that Will Smith was doing something with The Matrix. I think we'd also got the information that it was going to be a music video. So we were no longer fooled into thinking like, oh, this is going to be him dropping a new movie. This is going to be his take on Neo. This is Will Smith doing a music video using one of his biggest regrets, which was turning down the role of Neo. So I get past all that. Don't even get popcorn. Like I said, it's like 10 minutes before things are about to hit. I'm thinking, let me go in there and try and find a damn seat because it's got to be packed. Go in the theater, lights are up. I look up. If this theater could hold 100 people, there was maybe 40 of us in there. If this theater could hold 50 people, it was like 20 of us in there. What I'm trying to say is, wasn't a lot of people at this event, and it was an interesting crowd. It was a mix of really, I would say, 30-year-olds and more skewed towards, well, black, obviously, but women. It was a lot of women, more women I felt like than it was men in there, and which, again, I guess kind of makes sense in this era now where Will Smith is still a name, but more of his past than it is a draw for his future, if that makes sense, right? Like, if you grew up with Will, you're ready to show up at this event at 10 p.m., if you're kind of lukewarm on it, I can see why this wouldn't draw a lot of the dudes of Harlem to come out and sit down. I'll catch whatever Will's about to do on the big screen or in the comfort of my home. Not me, though. Like I said, big fan. I'm trying to check out what this is, especially if it's right down the street for me. So I get an easy seat up at the top. The event starts pretty much shortly after. They got a host comes in. I think her name was Ivy or something. Like she was a host of Power, whatever the local hip-hop channel is on iHeart out here. And, she introduces that we're going to be here to see Will Smith's brand new video, Beautiful Scars. And I'm thinking, like, low-key, I'm a little excited. This could be a little lit. If we're doing something like this where they're having a movie theater experience across the nation, right? Because I think it was us and it was LA, and there might have been a third place where they were premiering this one-on-one interview with Will, but also the music video. I'm thinking, like, they have something special in the tuck, right? Because he could have just dropped this on his YouTube channel like he's been doing all of his other projects, but no. He wanted to be outside with the people and like make this a whole movie going experience. So as I'm sitting back in my chair thinking about like, yo, what this could be, I'm like, yo, one thing Will has also been really good at is kind of leading on innovation and artistry and marketing. And I'm like, maybe we about to experience something that's like a revolutionary in trying to bring back people to the event, the performance aspect of music. Could be opening a new door to making people go like, yo, I was there the night that he premiered this video on big screen. And I was like, I like that idea. I'm rocking with this right now. I'm leaned back in the chair. I've never experienced something like this before. Let's see what this is about. So the lights go dim and you get your movie intro that he'd been teasing for a little bit, right? Which is him and Big Sean in the Neo Morpheus-like room where Morpheus is offering Neo a choice. And wait, let me back it up, because if you've seen the video, before even that, you get Will Smith basically saying in the introduction, in my life, there's only one thing that I turned down that I really regret, and that was the role of Neo, which, for a second, imagine Will Smith as Neo. It's one of those castings that you don't immediately go like, oh, damn, that would have been crazy, but it's not one you immediately write off like, ooh, we didn't need to see that. I'm curious to see what a Will Smith Neo would have looked like. So that's how he introduces it. Then you get them sitting down in the little room, and it's an interesting scene. It's an interesting setup because Will's playing it kind of comedic, and Big Sean, I don't know if he's acted before, but he's playing it the same way you would expect any rap star or really any artist that doesn't act to play it. He's serviceable for the moment. We get what you're trying to accomplish. Let's get to the music. Let's get to what y'all have shot. So he takes both pills. Big Sean does a funny line or something like that wasn't even an option, and then we're transported into the world of the Matrix, and the music begins. Beautiful Scars. Let's start with this. The song itself is okay. I don't think it's a bad song. I don't think it's one that you're going to go out of your way to listen to on repeat. I don't think you're adding it to any of your list. I don't think you're rushing to tell any of your friends to go check it out. The verses they're okay. He's talking about, the beauty of life, of what you go through and how it shapes you and how important that is, which seems appropriate for a 56-year-old man to be rapping about, who's been through a whirlwind of a life, especially in these last few years with the controversy of the Oscars, and, like wearing those scars and being proud of them. Beautiful concept. The lyrics themselves, let's look at them. How about this? Let's look at them real quick. All right, here we go. Mirrors on the wall. No, fly as an eagle, fresh out of Philly. Yeah, I still rep the city. Mirrors on the wall worth half a billy, because I'm an icon. They love using the icon line. I will say him and Jaden together on that remix, it was a good song. It was a really great song, actually. That's something you would bump.
Course, so what? I guess we all gotta grow.
Boy, you know why you was an icon living? You was born from an icon living. Messed around, married me, an icon living. Tequila, then we made some icon children.
Somebody you could base your life on, then you should place your sights on. Shot on Canons and Nikons, turn the cameras and lights on. I've been about the action, master actor, still rap, feel like Mike when they turn the mic on. You see, like, you can already hear it in the scheme, right? Like, it's got a very old school pattern to it, which is fine. He's 56, he shouldn't be rapping like these new kids. It's old and new all in one, but got these cowards saying, goddamn, he just won't quit, won't fold, and won't switch. I wrote the code, I'm Mr. Smith, because this is the Matrix. This is my regular basis. I am a headache you play as I'm playing my aces. Sean is probably top 10 favorite rapper for me. I really like Big Sean. I've always messed with his lyrics. I've always messed with his flow, his scheme, his concept. So I like what he did here. And he, to me, did a good job of like, okay, Will, this is your vision. I'm a mesh with that. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm not gonna try to show you how we do it now. I'm not gonna stand out in any kind of meaningful way. I'm just gonna give you what you want for this song. And then chorus again, and then we go to his second verse, I guess technically. Let me just show you one other thing real quick. Hold on, let's do this. To me, his biggest song of all time, especially for those that were in the 80s and the 90s, and I say that like I was from the 80s and the 90s, but it's just a song that reminds me of like going home to the country and like seeing my family, and the meaning behind it I think is so universal. But here it is, the groove slightly transformed, just a bit of the break from the norm, just a little something to break the monotony of all that hardcore dance that has gotten to be a little bit out of control. It's cool to dance, but what about the groove that soothes, that moves romance? Give me a soft, subtle mix, and if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. And think of the summers of the past, adjust the bass and let the Alpine blast. Pop in my CD and let me run a rhyme and put your car on cruise and lay back, because this is summertime. That to me is so damn brilliant.
And think of the summers of the past. Adjust the bass and let the Alpine blast. Pop in my CD and let me run a rhyme and put your car on cruise and lay back, cause it's summertime.
Because it does a really good job of putting you in the mindset of the song, of where you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to feel. All of that was the simplistic way of saying it too. Like, I didn't need like words just to rhyme, and like I'm gonna put conversation with congregation and, you know, semantics with him and antics. There was something simple and beautiful about the lyrics back here that still kind of exist here, but with no vision to it. I don't know if that makes sense, right? The codes are my lineage. I'd be around for another millennium, climbing the ladder to heaven on helium. Seeing the suffering, dreaming, and healing them. You are the one in a million, billion. You are the answer. You are the power. You are the principle. Every second that you're living is pivotal. Anything that's broken is remixable. Even when it's not physical, you are not alone. Trust the invisible. I didn't even like saying that shit. But again, I think it's an okay song. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great. I think it's just an okay song. But here was my biggest effing issue with this, right? As the video itself starts to play, I'm thinking, yo, we are about to get Will Smith as Neo. We're about to get that movie, right? Because the 2000s to me and the music videos did a really, 90s as well, did a really good job of making many movies with music videos. Some of my favorite, songs are the ones that had music videos that like told the story.
All right, man, it was Mr. Big's daughter, and he took her out on a date and they kidnapped him.
Why don't you handle this?
Exactly. Because it was Mr. Big. He's been chasing us around all night.
And
this song starts, and we're gonna play some of it, and I get so lost so quickly because, okay, we got the classic glasses, we got him in the Morpheus chair, we got him in the jacket. Like, I can't wait to see what we're about to see here. And instead of getting a mini movie, we get a collection of clips of Will doing stunts or recreating, like, not even iconic moments, but bits of an iconic moment or rapping in them. And then we get more behind the scenes coverage than actual Matrix stuff. We get more clips of like this, of the camera moving back as they shoot this scene. We get more clips of people vlogging behind the scenes than anything really about the Matrix. There was no actual Matrix recreation here. The tease for this is my biggest regret is that I didn't get to do this. Welcome to the Matrix, Mr. Smith. Why the hell are we not getting a Matrix mini movie right now? Why are we not seeing him rap this? Or he didn't even have to rap this. Just do the damn movie. Just give us the fight scene right here. Don't take me in and out between watching this. It just felt like the weirdest dick stroking project. Not for Will, but for the cast and the crew. But like, that's not what this song is about. How does this relate to what the hell the song is about? What does this have to do with the song? Either make it the Matrix mini movie because that was something that you turned down and you regret. Then let's make that let's make that a reality. Okay, let's go back and give him his opportunity to be Mr. Smith. Let me see him pick up the phone and get sucked into it. Right? Let me see him wake up in the tub. Don't take me out of that by including clips of like some random person with the camera behind the scenes smiling. What does that have to do with anything? Why is that included? This scene right here where they're in the Suburban and he's just rapping down the street. What? Why? Maybe this is a just great example of like, just because you're a director over on the film and television side, does that mean you would make a great music video director, which is ironic because Michael Bay obviously comes from music videos and then he went over to do Bad Boys and, seems like he does great in both. But maybe that's what this shows is that like, this is not an easy translatable skill. But then once you're done with your little behind the scenes music video that you've released, right? Then release the actual project. Whatever it is y'all actually shot on the day of, give us that. Because then that was, to me, is a much better payoff of the tease of saying Will Smith was going to do Matrix. Not this combination of a little bit of Matrix, but not really, and it looks like poor CGI, and it just doesn't come together well. And then also let's include some clips of like random cast and crew because that has anything to do with anything. Just not a good music video. And so when I walked away from this, right, because they played the music video, and then like the lights came back on, and again, exclusive premiere, Will Smith is right there in the audience. You're thinking you're gonna hear, woo, yeah, let's go. Everybody's gonna be hyped for what he just dropped. It was quiet as hell in there. Like there was the performative or the respectful or just kind of the, the expected. Our theater, quiet. A1, nobody. I think there was head bobbing for maybe the first 30 seconds and then it was like, wait, what is this? I remember coming out and seeing a girl in red across the you know how theaters have two doors. She was coming out the other side of the door. Vlogger was right there waiting for him, and asked her, like, what did you think of the music video? And she was like, I liked it. This is a black woman in Harlem asked what she thought of the new Will Smith music video, and she said, I liked it. I think that really summed up the feeling of what we had experienced in that movie theater. So I ended up leaving And I was just kind of like walking in this cold ass Harlem street thinking to myself, like, three things. There are three reasons Will Smith would allow a project like this to go forward. One, and some of these are going to sound disrespectful, right? But they're not being disrespectful. This is just literally what my thoughts were as I was walking down the street, because Will Smith has been a talent, a true artist for so long, my entire lifetime. And it's been at the top of the game when it comes to his movies, his music, his television shows. When he puts his hand on something, especially during that run, right? That late 90s, 2000s run, everything was gold. He's been doing it for so long. There's only three reasons that I could come up with that you would now be putting something like this out to the world and be like shepherding it and being like, yo, this gonna be the new hotness. One, you've gotten too old. And that's just a sad state of reality for all of us, right? There's eventually going to come to a point where you've just aged out of understanding what's hot, what's trending, what people want to see. Number two, you're too damn rich. You've been removed from regular life and regular people for too long. You move in circles that kind of force you to be in a bubble, especially when you're a megastar. Everybody is a yes person. Everybody's giving you what you want to hear. I'm not saying that's his entire team, because I'm sure he's got some good people around him that are like, yo, I don't know if I would do that. Yo, you tripping right now. But still, you're so isolated in wealth that when you step outside and deliver a project to the masses who are not wealthy, they're just not connecting with it, because it's like, I just don't see your vision, bro. It seems like you went and got a bunch of talented people, but there was no thread for everybody to be like, this is what we're doing for this project. And then the third reason, and I don't know which of these reasons it is, but these are the three I come up with. The third one is like, maybe, possibly, he's lost trust in himself in knowing what's good, because I can't see the Will that made the I Am Legends and the iRobots seeing this music video and going, yeah, push that. I like that. No, the individual that we grew up watching that knew what art was, or at least knew what creatively inspired the masses, would have looked at this and go, we got to reshoot this. We got to reshoot this or re-edit this, because this ain't it. What are we doing here right now, y'all? There's no way he would have saw what we just saw on that screen and been like, push send on this button, which had me go like, he has to have lost confidence in his artistry. There has to be a part of him that's like, yo, I'm too far removed from things, and I'm not sure exactly what the pulse of the culture is right now. So if y'all around me are telling me this is it, this is hot, all right, then I'm gonna push it and act like it's hot until I'm told it's not. I say all that to say, man, I'm looking forward to whatever he drops next when it comes to his music and his film. But at some point, I hope somebody in his corner is like, yo, we got to step it up. We got to go back to what made us great and forget just hiring the best in the business or who we think is the best in the business to put together some commercialized BS, because this was not it at all. Why the hell is Will Smith in a Suburban rapping into the camera down the street? I get the scene. I get what they're referencing. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. This is just this is an okay song and a meh video. That's what I got. So I just want to talk about that, y'all. And some brighter news, the Wayans are coming back for Scary Movie 6, and we got a release date. That, to me, is one of the most exciting things that I've heard in a very long time. I would love to hear what the deal was behind that, whether Wayans are now getting creative control in terms of ownership or a partial stake in ownership. There had to have been some part of that deal where they got some kind of ownership, right? Because this was their biggest fight, at least as far as Marlon Wayans seems to have said, is that Miramax basically took Scary Movie from them, right? After number 2, they went a whole different direction, and the Wayans were cut out completely. So I would imagine they wouldn't come back unless there was some kind of ownership, and I really hope there is, and I think we're going to get a return to form. Like, these were the minds that made Scary Movie great. There's a noticeable decline from 3 all the way to 5. Just, that shit got terrible. I just wanted to end it on a positive note, and I hope that I wasn't too negative here, because, again, to me, Will Smith has been, is, and will always be my favorite artist in the world when it comes to film, and then I think probably top 20 when it comes to music, for sure, right? Like, I'm never mad at listening to a Will Smith song, depending on where I'm at, but for the most part, I'm never mad at it. And he's got some bumps, he's got some classics, and I think he's a very talented individual that's still that's still dripping with that energy, that swag, that charisma that made him a legend and star. I just think now something's got to change. One of those 3 things has to be recalibrated or taken into consideration when dealing with his new projects, because, hey, I'm just going to come out and say it. this is ass. This is not good. This is just not good. So thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, I'm sorry last week we didn't have an episode. I look forward to seeing y'all in the next Stand On Business. Also check out some of the other content that we have on the channel. I was your host, JLW. And remember, if you don't stand for something, all right then.
No. You think that I'm in a stressful state because I'm trying to make a good impression while also dealing with my commitment issues, trying to avoid all these awkward conversations.
No, I think you have food allergies.
Oh.
Benadryl. A lot of Benadryl. A lot of Benadryl.
What?